Hey guys, welcome back to Econ Time with SK. So grab your notebooks, your favorite cup of coffee, and let's get started. The first question that I'm going to be addressing is, hey, why is the ATC curve U-shaped? So let me just write down our question. Why ATC U-shaped? All right. And the main thing is, let's actually first write down the formula for ATC. Remember, average total cost is nothing but average fixed cost plus average variable cost. So what's key here is that it's made up of two different components. Okay, so there's a point where average variable cost is the same as the average fixed cost. Let me just call this point Q star. Let's pick a point below Q star. Let's call this Q1, all right? Below Q star, you notice that the average fixed cost is above the average variable cost. Tahole, let's say before Q star is basically where AFC is equals to AVC. Before Q star, AFC is actually the average fixed cost is greater than the average variable cost. So one way of looking at it is we're saying, hey, you know what? The average fixed cost, it basically is sort of stronger, right? It is dominant. This is like the dominant force, all right? And so this AFC is what determines what happens to the average total cost. So what do we see is happening below Q star? All right, below Q star, we see that AFC is actually falling very rapidly, right? It's just going down, 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 down very quickly. Whereas AVC is just like it's slowly increasing, but really not much action there. Before Q star, average fixed cost is falling rapidly. This means that the average total cost is pulled down by this AFC. So focus on the word pull down. It's basically because AFC is stronger than the average variable cost. Because it is bigger, that's why what happens to the AFC affects what is happening to the average total cost. And AFC যখন কমতে থাকে তখন এটা average total cost কে নিচে টেনে নেয়. Okay? So let's look at after Q star what is happening. Well, after Q star, let's call it Q2, right? Around here, what do we see is happening to the fixed cost? Well, fixed cost is down here, but average variable cost is up here, right? After Q star, all right, average variable cost is actually bigger than the average fixed cost, right? So it is actually the average variable cost which is stronger or has dominant force. So the average variable cost is what determines shape of the average total cost. So what do we see here? That after Q star, what is happening to the average variable cost? Well, it is rapidly increasing, right? So after Q star, average variable cost is increasing, and so it pulls the ATC up. So, and that is why the ATC is there. It's starting to increase when the AVC starts to increase. All right. So what we're seeing is that when it is falling, it is because average fixed cost is greater than average variable cost. And this fixed cost is basically driving the what is happening with the ATC. But after this particular point, average variable cost is bigger than the average fixed cost, and because average variable cost is increasing, it also pulls the average total cost up. All right, that's the main reason why the average total cost is U-shaped.
So in the next video, what we are going to try and answer is why the gap between the AFC and the AVC shrinks as more and more output is being produced.
All right, guys, I shall see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.